Yo, what's up, Los Angeles? Ryan Dyrud here. Dirty Chai, Will Decker. We are leaving Las Vegas. Great movie, but different results in this instance. Just finished up Pac-12 Media Day. Had a blast. It was a quick turnaround, not even 24 hours. You know, we got in town at what, 1:30 last night?
1:30, got some drinks, went to sleep, and just had a full day today. So it's been fun, man.
It's been good. All things Pac-12, but obviously our focus was USC and UCLA. We did a recap show with our good friend from the Pac-12 network. Had a great view overlooking Encore. That'll be up on all of our channels here very shortly, once I have enough service to actually upload it. But wanted to get on the horn quickly and just kind of talk three biggest takeaways, three favorite things, just kind of a raw, live, if you will, chat about kind of our thoughts of probably our last Pac-12 Media Day, since they're going to the Big Ten. Our schools are going to the Big Ten. So starting with you, Dirty Chai. Number one, what was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, great question. Number one, I'm going to be starting with Oregon State. I just think there's no fluke in what this team has to offer. I liked the questions that Jonathan Smith and how he was answering them. They've got a quarterback battle in DJU or Aiden Childs. I think whoever they decide upon, they're going to be in good hands, man. Good defense, great coach. Just performing above their britches, you know what I mean? So I think Oregon State has been really good. That's my number one takeaway. What was yours, man?
I didn't think we'd get britches used.
Sometimes you got to throw it in, baby, yeah.
Burning above their britches, I like that.
Yeah, man.
No, definitely that's a good one. For me, biggest takeaway, I think, or one of my biggest takeaway is, we'll keep it with our teams, and it's UCLA just seems very, like, business as usual. Just eye on the prize. Lincoln Riley was very poignant in his answers. Very typical Lincoln Riley, like very thoughtful with his answers, very polite, but also just very, not having to beat around the bush. Was very honest in certain instances, but just focused on this season and what they can build upon last season, how great they can be. Caleb Williams, kind of very similar in a way, but also you could tell he was a little tired of the media.
Oh, yeah.
The media. He's kind of ready to be done with the whole media circus, and obviously he's been the face of college football since midway through last year, and rightfully so. But I think he's ready just to actually play. And then Mason Cobb, new addition. He seemed very excited to be a Trojan, more kind of embracing what was happening today and kind of just taking all in, but definitely laser focused on, he knows that it's a tall order of building what the defense was last year and what they need to be this year in order to go to the college football playoff, and seems like he'll be up to the task. And that was kind of my first takeaway, is just business as usual for USC.
Yeah, man. Takeaway number two for me, Chip is just a little bit more charismatic. He's a little bit more open to the media. He had some very thoughtful answers today, something we just have not really heard from Chip. He got teary-eyed a couple times talking about the late, great Bill McGovern.
Yep.
And he was just a lot more caring. I think the highlight of my day, maybe my year, was I asked a question to Chip. He said, "That's a great question."
Oh, yeah.
UCLA fans, Oregon fans, Eagles fans, anyone that's followed Chip Kelly, tell me the last time that's happened to a reporter talking to Chip Kelly. So I felt like I was king of the world after he told me that. Chip he seems like he's got a lot more positive outlook on life, which is really cool to see,
I think with Chip, like, he's always kind of been, we were talking with Yogi Roth about this afterwards, is he's always been, if you asked a very good and thoughtful question, he would answer very thoughtfully and long-winded. If you didn't, he would give you a one-word answer. I think the difference now is he's not quite as cold at bad questions, because he still gets some. But definitely when you ask a good question, which you always do, extremely thoughtful, long answers, almost excited to talk about it. Like, there's times when Chip Kelly looked like just miserable having to talk to the media. And last year I noticed this, and for sure this year, it was almost like joyful to be talking to the media. Like, thankful that we were all there.
He's joking with us. Yeah. We were talking about his dog's ACL when we pulled up. He was on the injury report. He was like, "When's the last time Chip's been joking with me?"
Yeah. Outside of the Thriller in Manila instance last year, that was about it. But I'll stay on that path, because my second takeaway was that it's right along those lines. Before UCLA had their actual, on the main stage, he did like a scrum upstairs on the third floor, and it was almost 25 minutes, which is unheard of. I mean, post-game promises are 4 to 5, 4 to 6. Even last year when he was, I thought much more charismatic than we've seen years past, still, a quick 8-minute scrum probably. Almost 25 minutes, took every question, even when Scott Markley, the communication, was like, all right, Chip, it's time to go. He still took like one final question and answered it. So that was, I don't know if that was Chip thing, a Scott thing, or just, hey, this is our last year in the PAC thing, whatever it was. But that was a big takeaway that, like, wow, they were really embracing the media for as long as we all wanted, pretty much.
Yeah, and I just think he's more reflective after McGovern died. You can see that it has made a profound impact on him. And I think he's just excited to be with a good football team again. Like, he knows he has a good team this year. I think he's genuinely excited about it.
Yeah.
So as opposed to past media days when it was kind of a rebuilding process, this year he knows he's got the horsepower to really take it to the top of the Pac-12 if everything goes his way. So it was fun talking to Chip. It was fun talking to Liatu Latu. We talked to Caleb, Heisman. I mean, that never gets old talking to Heisman winners. Got a question with Lincoln. I mean, dude, it was a good day for LA football and a good day for Ride or Die and Dirty Chai.
Oh yeah. Caleb playing a little pickleball.
Yeah, that was cool.
In the eating area. So what was your third and final, I guess, big takeaway, if you will?
Just how cool it is to be able to, brush shoulders with some of the biggest names in college football.
Yeah.
We talked last year at lengths about how we had lunch with the likes of, Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams. I had lunch with Dan Lanning, the head coach of Oregon, talking shop with him. Kenny Dillingham, I've got a mutual friend who's the head coach at Arizona State. We talked for about 5 to 10 minutes today, just catching up on the old times. When we went to the same high school. So, like, we've got mutual friends, we got mutual, high school teachers. We were talking about that for a little bit. Just a great guy. So I think just being able to brush shoulders with the who's who of college football, that's something that we as reporters, that's what we want to be media members for. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I think when you lose that enjoyment with it, you should get out of the profession.
1000%.
Like,
there's a couple guys I can think of too.
There's quite a few guys I can think of, and I think for me, I don't think it ever will. But it's just you step back and you're like, what am I doing here? How am I doing this? Like, eating lunch with all these likes, and then at the end of the day too, though, you realize like these are just other human beings too. Like, they're just here to do a job, and they just happen to be more celebrity because they're on TV and they make a lot more money than me. But yeah, like talking to Dillingham was so cool. Like, he's
Yogi, you introduced me to Yogi.
Yogi Roth is like one of the most down to earth, cool.
Bruce Feldman was the big. I remember coming over to you just being like, I can't believe I just talked to Bruce Feldman, like the college football reporters. Like, it's just those kind of cool connections. You don't get to be in these environments every day. So it's just, you got to make sure you take advantage of it. This guy will tell you I asked like a million questions today. It was because I'm not going to be in that situation again, and I want to make the most of it. So that's, I think, what we did.
On the horn. My final takeaway, and again, we have a lot more chatter on the full recap pod that we drop in here in a bit, but I thought, I don't know if this was a Vegas thing, if this was just a Pac-12 adjustment thing, but I really enjoyed the format today. In LA last year, and I don't know if that was our first year last year, but they basically, Yogi and
Ashley
Adamson weren't in the main stage room running it. It was just Jim Thornby called the coach up. They did like an opening statement, and when they opened questions up, you like formed a line. Remember, you'd form a line. You'd get the mic, you ask questions, and then when it was done, it was done. This was much more like casual, like it was on a couch with the two of them kind of interviewing. Then it opened up to the media. You sat like wherever you were sitting, they'd bring a mic to you. And then right after that, the players would take over after the coach. Where last year, while the coach was going, the players would be at a scrum off to the side. So you had to kind of pick and choose who you were talking to. So I really enjoyed the format and thought it gave us a much bigger opportunity to talk to everyone we wanted to, hear answers, hear more questions, instead of just getting your one question and then having to run to the next. So hats off Pac-12 for, I think, adjusting the format a lot better.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think the Vegas iteration of it was almost perfectly run. I'm just going to be honest. Like, they did in this Zouk nightclub at Resorts World, and it was a very cool setup. The mega screen in the back, as well as the LED panels on top that would show the different teams. World-class sound system, as we found out many of times when they show the highlight packages, because it is one of the best nightclubs in Vegas right now. And just the way they structured it, the food on the third floor, the media room, players outside. Pac-12 knocked it out of the park. And we are leaving the Pac-12, and we have our feelings about how the conference is doing things. By the way, still not a TV deal secured, which is insane.
Yeah.
But in terms of running this event, it could not have been better.
Yes. So hats off to all involved who ran it. There was like Kliavkoff gave like little murmurs that leaving breadcrumbs that there was a deal, but they didn't want to announce it today because they wanted the focus to be on football. We'll see if that comes out to be true in a week or so. But anyway, phenomenal day. Super pumped we got to be here. Thanks everyone for kind of hanging out with us virtually as we kind of brought thoughts and stuff. And obviously, like I keep saying, we'll have a full recap later. I'm sure we'll have mini recaps throughout the week as we kind of remember things and break more things down. I want to jump on the horn real quick as we make our fun 4-hour drive back to LA, running on 3 hours of sleep and fumes. But it's all worth it. And 110 degrees all day.
All worth it is the big part.
Yeah.
We are tired and ready to, man, I'm going to sleep for like 16 hours tonight. So
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome.
I'm going to the beach again where it's nice and cool. I need some cool weather. So thank you all for hanging out with us. We got plenty more coming. This is the LA Football Network. Dirty Chai Decker, Ryan Dyrud. Talk to you all soon.